Alright guys, so Ninja Andrew here, or should I say Evil Ninja Andrew, and today I'm going to be doing an episode on Celestial Loadouts. Now, both Misty and I have made Celestial characters, these are our villains, and we're using Celestial DPS. So I will be going into the Celestial DPS a little bit later. But to start it out, I'm going to start it out with the healer loadout and show you a little bit, at least what I know about that. I haven't played Celestial healing all that much, but Misty and I have done a lot of talking and sort of theory crafting about how the Celestial healer works. So I have a general idea of basically what powers I would probably load out and how I would load them out if I was going to do a Celestial healer. So I'm going to show you guys that first, just because I think that there's a lot of people who've been asking on the channel and while we've been playing if we have anything for Celestial. So Misty and I, we both have slightly different perspectives on what we like to do with our regards to our loadouts, where we load out the powers in our hotbar here, and then as well as which specific powers we like to use. But I think that we've probably come the closest to agreeing on the Celestial healer. So I'm going to go ahead here and just show you guys. This is how I would load it out for myself. I know that Misty and I, we don't tend to put our powers in the same slots in our hotbar. So I'm going to give you guys just my version, and I think you guys should probably watch both versions and then make decisions for yourself on what you like and what's going to be best for you. So to start it out here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start buying some healer powers. Now, what I should mention before I really start is that all of the powers in Celestial are mirror powers, and they have combos based on that. What I mean by that is that for each of these trees, Blessed and Cursed, you're going to buy one power on one side, like Smite here, and then by going over to Cursed and buying the opposite power, which is Haunt, it's going to open up a combo. You can see there it says Celestial Combo, Tap Melee Smite. Or if I go back over to Smite, it says, Tap Melee Haunt. What that essentially translates to is that I'm going to throw this power, and if I've purchased the mirror skill in the other tree, it's going to allow me to do another hit by tapping melee for either of those particular powers. So, what you basically want to pay attention to is what is the combo for the power that you're using. In this case, let's just use Smite as an example. So, as a healer, this is going to blast my target with Divinity, dealing damage and knocking it down. If I get the Celestial combo, it says Tap Melee Haunt. So what I need to do is I need to go over and check what it says under Haunt when I go down to where it says Cleansed, because it's the Cleansed combo. So if I buy both hits, I get the first part of of Smite, and then I get the second hit will call upon Cleansed Spirits to seek out your enemies, dealing damage over time and stunning them. So it's you need to read the top description of the power that you're planning on using, blast your target with Divinity, maybe the damage roll if that applies to you. Ignore the Corrupted, because the Corrupted is coming from the other side. So you need to go over to Cursed and see what the Cleansed combo is. If I was doing this for DPS, I would look at Haunt, and I would go the other way, and I would buy Haunt, and I would go and see where it says Celestial Combo, Tap Melee Smite, Corrupted. So this would do the Corrupted combo on Smite, which if I go back over there, it says down at the bottom, Corrupted. Blast enemies with Diabolism, dealing damage and causing them to panic. So, hopefully, you guys are following along. I know it's a little bit complicated, but I'm going to show you how that all works out. So, I'm going to just go ahead here and buy the powers that I would buy. Smite, you just have to buy to get down to these other powers. You're going to want Renew as a healer. You're going to want Retribution, and you're going to want Admonish, definitely. And then also, I would suggest buying the shield. and getting down the middle here to Divine Light. And those are going to be some of your important moves. Now, a lot of these moves have mirrors on the other tree, so I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to purchase the exact same 3 that I did at the top. I'm not going to purchase Deathmark because it's not that useful to me. I am, however, going to purchase Consume Soul. Now, I have 3 points left. These 3 points I could do a bunch of different things with. I could purchase some supercharges. For this side, I would say that both are good. Cursed Idol is going to be an area of effect that will spawn on you, and it will spawn a little bit of healing, and it's a 25% supercharge. You can do that quite often. Life Drain, you're going to nom or gobble on the enemy with the animation like you're eating them, and it's going to do some damage to them and stun them, and you're going to heal. I would say that this is probably the best supercharge overall on these powers. I'll go back to Blessed here and I'll show you those supercharges. You could also get Sacrifice, which is a healing supercharge and it gives a shield. The problem with this one is that it taunts nearby enemies to come and kill you. And I'll just give you an example. If you're in a raid and there's bad stuff happening and you need to throw out a big giant heal to the group, and you throw it out and you die, that doesn't really help your group too much. So while it does benefit the group because it throws out healing and shields and stuff to them, you're probably going to go down as soon as you use this move. So I just don't like that at all. You also have your Consecrated Ground, which is going to create a huge area of effect. Spell or power here, and essentially it's going to prevent all damage for a short amount of time, and I think that that's actually a decent one, but because of how I'm going to load this power out, I'm going to have too many powers to be able to really use another or a supercharge in my loadout. So I'm going to go ahead here. I could also potentially purchase these two with the healer powers on them. While they would be good, overall, it's not the hugest increase. They are pretty decent, but I think if I were to only buy one, I would buy this critical healing magnitude. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to purchase the combo Plague, which is going to mirror the combo for Blessed, which is this one at the bottom here. So if you look at both trees, I have the top 3 across, the one at the bottom, the top, the 3 across, the one at the bottom, and then each side has something slightly different. I'm going to go in now and show you how I would load this out. So I'm going to go Loadouts, Healer. So my first power, it's been a little while since I've had to do this, so you guys will have to bear with me. First power is going to be the opposite of Admonish, which I believe... Oh, what's it called? Nope. It's called... Oh, maybe it is. It's just called Admonish. Okay, so give me a second. There we go. Admonish, Retribution, the Shield, Blessing, Renew. It's been a little while. This is Consume Soul, and this is Divine Light. Okay, so now I'm going to head over to an attack dummy. There's one over here in the Magic Wing. And I'll show you what the deal is with purchasing those combos. Just waiting for these guys to spawn in. So I'm going to show you each of these powers without actually throwing the combo on it. So this is Admonish. That's what it looks like. Just throws that. This is Retribution, just throws a little beam out of your hand. It's a ranged attack. Then we have a shield. We have a heal. We have a pull. And we have another heal out to the group. Now, you'll notice that in my loadout, I've loaded out my powers so that I have a short-range melee-style ability on square to mirror my melee attacks on my square button. I have a ranged attack with Retribution on triangle to mirror my ranged attack, so that I can sit back here, just keep tapping triangle, and throw that in whenever I want. Or I can just keep tapping square, and then I can throw that combo in whenever I want. The shield is on a button that I'm not going to use too much. The heal is on the button that I'm probably going to use the most, which is X. Then the last two buttons are sort of like my emergency buttons or my toolbox buttons, where it's like, it's going to be a move that's going to do something for me, whether it's a pull, like I have on both Ninja Andrew and Evil Ninja Andrew, same button. I like my pull there. And then the last one is either going to be your supercharge, or it's going to be a really effective move that's going to help heal your group. And that's the way that I like to load out every power that I do. My DPS will have the same melee range, some type of shields, the attack that I'm going to use the most, some type of pull or push move, and then my supercharge or my big move. So that's just a bit about like why I have those there as far as my loadout. Let me show you guys what these look like as far as if you're doing combos with them. Just refill my power here by comboing on the dummy. Come on. There we go. Okay. So the reason that you want to buy the mirror combo is because it's going to give you extra abilities. With Admonish, this is going to be... it's going to throw essentially a heal with the first move when you throw that out, and then it's going to do damage with that second hit where you throw it at the ground there. So all I'm doing to pull off that combo is if I go back into my powers here. So this is Admonish. You can see judicially deal enemies divine justice, damaging and knocking them down. If I'm in healer role, it heals me and up to 3 nearby group members. And it has a celestial combo, tap, melee, hold, range. In order to get that celestial combo to work, I had to buy this ability, Blight. And if I go down, it says, under Cleansed, create a divine energy explosion at your feet, dealing damage over time and knocking down nearby enemies. Increases your critical healing chance by 5% for a short time, and heals you and up to 3 group members over time. That's awesome. That's great bread and butter healing move, because that's going to do lots of healing and it's going to damage your target. And all of the other moves work the exact same way. So this Retribution one, it has a combo on it. And I'll read that one out to you. So Retribution, the first hit, where I point at him and shoot him with the beam. Punish your target with a beam of holy justice, damaging and stunning it. Stunning is important. And it says power interactions. Purifies your target, causing attacks to deal or to heal a small amount. And then it says celestial combo, tap, melee, tap, range. That celestial combo is going to be the cleansed combo down here. Bring your target and other nearby enemies to their knees, dealing damage over time and stunning them. Purifies enemies, causing their attacks to heal a small amount. So whenever I heal an enemy, or whenever I hit an enemy with the Retribution hit, which is the one where I throw up that little beam like that, the first hit is going to stun them, and the second hit is going to also stun them and cause them to need to use a breakout. You can see he also has a little halo of sort of yellow, or the same color as my power ability there, that when I hit him with, it gives him. Whenever you see an enemy with that, it means that if they hit you, they're going to heal you instead of damaging you. So whenever you see that either on yourself or on an enemy, you're either going to be healing the guy that you're hitting, or they're going to be healing you. So just keep that in mind if you ever see somebody out there with that on them. Then your blessed shield. The shield is really good because this throws out to 3 other group members. And then it also has the added bonus if you purchase the from your base mods. You'll have base mods for your armor. You can slot in a certain one that makes your shield heal you when you pop it, and so it just sort of gives you a double boost. You not only throw out the shields to the group, but it's also going to heal you. Then you have your renew combo. This is going to be your standard pump that out and heal. Like if you need to throw out healing to your lowest group member, you need to throw this combo, which is going to, from where I have it, it's tap the X, tap square, tap triangle to throw out the whole combo, it just feels really nice for me in that position. I'll show you guys here that combo read out, reading out the ability. Instantly restore health to you and the most injured group member. And then if you purchase the other part for it, cause your target to damage itself when attacking others. When the enemy is knocked out, you and the most injured group member are healed over time. So if you sort of combine those two powers, you hit him with this one, he's going to be healing you as he hits you. You hit him with the cursed part of this one, and he's going to be damaging himself. So he'll probably just kill himself trying to beat you down when it comes down to it. So I'll go through the last couple abilities here. We also have Consume Soul. You can see it has a different look than some of these other ones. All the other abilities I've used so far have a yellow tinge to them. This one has a purple. So it's a pull, and it's going to throw healing to 3 group members. Now I'll just go into my powers here. All the other powers I've used so far have been from the blessed side of the tree. You have Admonish, Retribution, Renew, Blessing. You can see here that the ability Consume Soul is actually from the cursed side of the tree. Now, the reason I'm throwing it from this side is something Misty and I have discovered. Is originally I thought that you would want to throw this from the Wrath of the Presence side, and you would want to have that Wrath of the Presence combo on it. After playing around with that for a while, Misty and I found that when you use it from if I were to use Wrath of the Presence first and then buy that as a combo off of the second side of it, you throw Wrath of the Presence first, and when you throw Consume Soul after, it does a little bit of healing over time, which is okay. It does a big hit, it sucks the enemies back into you, does a little heal over time. If you just throw it by itself, going the other way, without any combo on it whatsoever, it actually throws out healing to your 3 group members a lot quicker and cheaper and faster. So you just end up getting more use out of it. You don't get stunned as much, and your healing numbers are going to be higher by using it that way. So it works out better to ignore the combo for this one and just use Consume Soul. And I think Misty will definitely agree with that. And so now we're at my last ability here. I've gone through everything else. Now I have this one's called Divine Light. I'll see if I can throw the whole combo here. So that's the combo. It's quite a long one. You've got to hit the combo Divine Light, then you've got to tap square, tap triangle, hold square. Now, it's hard to see the healing throwing out off of this, but essentially when you throw Divine Light, it's going to throw healing to you and I believe the 3 most injured group members. I'm going to go ahead and read this out to you guys. So, become bathed in a sanctified light, pushing enemies away from you and healing up you and up to 7 group members. Wow, that's awesome. Or wait, am I on the wrong one? Ah, that's Guardian's Light, sorry. Sorry guys, ignore that. Guardian's Light is not as good. I'm going to go to Divine Light. Sorry. Completely ignore that. Create glyphs of virtuous light that deal damage to enemies or heal allies depending on your role. Purifies enemies, causing their attacks to heal a small amount. So you can see it also works with that purification where the enemies are going to heal you by attacking you. Now, by buying the cursed side to this, siphon the corruption from your target, dealing damage over time. When a recently siphoned enemy is knocked out, the affliction spreads to nearby enemies and they leave a damaging glyph at their last location. Now, the reason I've chosen to go for this, and it's 2.5 of one, half a dozen of the other, or whatever that saying is. It's like you could go with so many different things. I just like this because that's a really big hit for a healer to be able to throw. Because you're going to want to use this move fairly often to throw out some big heals to your group. I would say that it's sort of like it's not quite as good as a supercharge, but you're going to be throwing it out often enough that it's going to really help your group out. So it makes it more worthwhile than a lot of the other supercharges that you have there. And there aren't a lot of moves that do a lot of damage for a healer. So I think it makes the best of both worlds. You're getting a big heal and a big damaging attack out of it. The other option that Misty and I thought might be good would be, if I go here, instead of doing the... Oh, what the... I love how long it takes to get in. Okay, powers. So instead of doing... the combo off of this move would to just be to buy the Wrath of the Presence and save your points if you wanted to put them into your iconic powers here at all. I would just buy this one for this loadout, and that would be my whole healer loadout here. So let me just see if I can throw these combos out here all coolified and one after the other. So you can see it's really easy to clip those combos as well. It's a little hard because I don't have a full power bar of the moment I can take. There we go. I'll try to clip them all for you. They didn't have enough power for that last one. Oh, come on. Oh. There we go. And I think that that's also another really important factor when you're looking at your moves. And you can see it does quite a decent amount of damage. So try it out, guys. Let us know what you think. See if there's anything that you really like differently or like about it. And let us know in the comments what you think of that type of a loadout. It's a purification celestial healer loadout, and we find that it works very well, and or at least that those would be the powers that you would want to potentially take a look at if you're loading out a celestial healer. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I want to kind of speed this up a little bit just because it's taken a while, but I'm going to do the damage now. Damage loadout. This is the one that I'm more familiar with, so I'm going to go ahead here. Oop. So it's the same idea. This time I'm going to buy my cursed powers first, just so you guys can get an idea. I like cursed-based DPSing, so I'm going to go through, I'm going to buy specific combos for specific reasons. I used to like Defile, but after playing with it for a while, I've sort of changed my general approach. So I'm going to buy this just so I can get down to Consume Soul. And I'm going to buy Life Drain as a supercharge, because I find that the supercharge definitely works for the DPS side. So these are my powers that I'm going to buy for the cursed side. Now I'm going to go and buy the mirror powers that I'm going to need in order to make this loadout. So Admonish. I don't need Renew. I do, however, need... I need Renew so I can get down to here. And I need this so I can get down to here. That leaves me with 2 powers left over. And actually, it's not left over. Let me rephrase that. I need to go and buy this one, Dark Pact. And in my iconic powers, I can't live without super strength, picking up cars and all that kind of stuff. I would buy these if I had 2 more points, but I'm going to show you guys this loadout and we'll see what you guys think. So, I'm going to go ahead here and load it out. I like the opposite of a lot of the moves that I loaded out there. So I'll try to show you guys how they work. What's that one called? Deathmark, Dark Pact, Consume Soul, and Life Drain. Now I'm going to head back. Oh, I have to switch my role. I'm going to head back over to the attack dummy so that you guys can see this as well. And some of these moves you're going to recognize because it's the mirror opposite of the one that I was just using on healing. So I'll show you the Blight combo first, which is the opposite of Admonish. You see I'll start with the Stomp, and then I'll end with the stuff shooting out of my hands. It's the complete opposite, and it's because it's the opposite move. It's the one in the other tree. So you can see here, that's going to do a knockdown, damage over time, and... oops, sorry. I shouldn't have thrown the skulls there. Sorry. Knockdown, damage over time. Ugh, and I'm not hitting the combo. Here we go. And then I'm going to do a large hit, 412 there, with the combo off of it. And I really like the amount of damage that does. I find that it works very well against either PvE enemies or PvP enemies. I like that hit a lot, so I find that move, the Admonish Blight or Blight Admonish combo, is probably your bread and butter for both loadouts. I'll go in and just show you guys what it looks like from the other direction. Powers, Cursed, Blight. Erupt dark energy explosion at your feet, dealing damage over time and knocking down nearby enemies. Increases your critical healing chance for a short time, except it's in damage roll. So in damage roll, it increases my damage by 35% until the counter resets, in addition to knocking them down and all that stuff. So then it has a combo on the corrupted side of the Admonish. So if I go there, Corrupted, condemn enemies with dark magic, damaging and knocking them down. Also increases your critical healing magnitude by 5% for a short time. So it does still give healing effects off of it, but I do still find this to be a very useful hit as far as melee damaging and close range damage on an enemy. So I leave it in my loadout anyways, because I just like it too much. It's just too useful. Slam, and then throw stuff at them. My next combo here is called Haunt. Now, I've seen a lot of people using Haunt and Smite back-to-back reversed, which you can do. I personally don't like to do that. I think that they put moves in for specific reasons, and that there's usually a specific way that they intended it to be used. So I'm going to show you here, my damage abilities. Haunt. I don't know why I went there. Powers, Cursed, Haunt is the top ability. Calling spirits of the dead to haunt your target, dealing damage over time and stunning it. It's a great little stunning ability as well as nice damage. And you can see it has the combo with Smite, so I'll go over there. The Corrupted combo of Smite blasts enemies with Diabolism, dealing damage and causing them to panic. So it adds a panic effect to them. Now, the reason I like this, starting with Haunt, that's the move there. That's just Haunt by itself, just throwing the skulls. And then the Haunt Smite combo, I tap square afterwards and it throws that extra where I do the little hip thrusting move and there's more stuff coming out. I really like it from this direction because of the stunning effects. I know that you could use it. You could potentially create a Blessed based DPS that was using it from Smite first to Haunt and a bunch of different moves, but I really like how this loadout works because they're all cursed powers and all of my powers are purple and look really badass. So, next power on the list is Deathmark and Blessing. And what that's going to do, this is, I find, probably one of the most lethal combos with the Celestial DPS, for the reason that you mark the enemy for death, which means that if they die within a certain amount of time... Here, I'll read this one out to you guys. You guys deserve it. Come on. Okay, so Cursed. Deathmark. Mark your target with Death's Cold Touch, dealing damage over time and stunning it. Marked enemies explode when knocked out, dealing heavy damage to nearby enemies. That sounds awesome. The combo for this ability, with the Cursed combo effect on it, envelop yourself and the most injured group member in a protective shield that prevents damage. When the shields are depleted, they explode, damaging nearby enemies. This has a double whammy effect. The shield, when it explodes, it's going to damage the enemy, and when they die, they're going to explode and damage other enemies. So I'll throw the combo here so you guys can see it. I mark them for death. Sorry, I'm going to do it from this angle so you guys can see it a little better. I mark them for death, and then I give myself a shield. If they were to hit my shield and break it right now, it would injure them. If it killed them, they would blow up and injure even more people. The reason I really like this is because of the next move, which is called Dark Pact. You can see it's the one that looks like a dude shouting. I'll just go really quickly, read it once again. Dark Pact. Make a pact with wicked forces, increasing your superpower damage for 35% for a short time. So this is going to increase the damage off of my attacks that use power. Like all of these ones. And because I'm a might-based DPS and I'm using all of these powers all the time, that's what I want. The sneaky trick here is to combine the two powers of the mark them for death, give yourself a bubble, and then use Dark Pact and laugh at them from inside your bubble, because as they hit you and blow up the bubble, it's going to do even more damage to them. It's kind of like taunting them to come get me, but when you do, it's going to hurt. You can see the effect of the bubble there. I'll throw two bubbles in a row here as well, so you can see the effect of a double bubble, because you can actually throw another bubble before the old one runs out. Now, some people would be like, oh, that's cheap because you're always going to be shielded. This shield is super weak. It's going to get knocked out with one hit, and it's going to throw that damage out. So it's not so much that you can keep yourself shielded, but that you can keep doing this effect of damaging them at a relatively decent pace, which I like. It's not so much of a shield. I wouldn't think of it as that. It's more of like a taunting shield. So just a little sneaky trick for everybody out there. Maybe not try to hit the DPSs with this shield on so much, if you can help it. Or at least try to get out of the range of, you'll see the big wave on the ground. That's how far out it reaches. So You want to watch out for that. Last two moves are really simple here, guys. We have the Consume Soul. This is the same move that we used on the healer, except now that it's doing damage on the damage side, there's no healing effect with it, so it's just going to do a pull. You're going to need fairly high dominance in order to, in order to pull a majority of enemies. But having said that, the reason I really, really, really love the pull, and I'm going to show you here. Let's go. So we know that it pulls them toward feel the feed on the soul of your target, dealing damage over time, stunning it and pulling it towards you. That's awesome. As a damage ability, you love stuns, you love pulls, anything like that is great. Wrath of the Presence with the Corrupted combo. Bombard nearby enemies with an explosion of dark energy, dealing damage over time and knocking them down. This is your bread and butter damage over time. A lot of other powers have a sort of area of effect damage over time that's going to hit a lot of enemies. This is just Celestial's version of it. So I'm going to throw the whole combo over here. Maybe I'll do it here because it'll be easier to see. So you throw the first part of the hit, tap square, and then you hold square. You can see the size of that area of effect as it washes out there, that big giant dark circle. I'll try to hit it again here. That's just awesome. It's gonna do, like, any enemies that are within that circle are gonna take that the hit of the damage over time. You can see it ticking off on both of them, and it's a fairly high damage over time tick, considering that you're gonna hit one enemy with it, and that you're gonna get this effect on I think up to 3 or 4 extra enemies. So it's really nice as far as a overall AoE damaging ability. And my last move here is Life Drain. It's a 33% or 35% supercharge. It's I'll read it again, sorry. I know I read it already, but I don't want you guys to have to go back and forth through the episode. So, drain the life force from your nearby enemies, dealing damage over time and stunning them. You and up to 7 group members gain healing over time. Derp. So it's a healing over time and a damaging effect on the enemies. I'm just going to throw one here, not during combos, so you can see what that looks like. So I nom on them, it does a little bit of damage, some nice damage ticks, and I would say that would probably be akin to throwing like a Soda Cola Max, maybe a remix, but it's enough to get you up maybe 2/3 of your health, but it's not a full heal. Having said that, though, it's a 35% supercharge. You can see I still have one more at least, and by the time I would probably be ready to throw that, I could probably throw another one as well from not having charged it up so much. So it's a really useful, utilitarian, you can use the heck out of it, like, to keep yourself alive, and I find it to be just really awesome, because as well as throwing healing to you, it throws healing out to your group. That's awesome for PvP. It's awesome for when you get into emergencies and PvE. It's just like icing on your cake. You love it. It's awesome. You want it all the time. So I'm going to see if I can throw this Celestial combo here for you guys. And maybe you'll be able to see why I like it. I will have to say that my healing loadout and my damage loadout, they don't throw the same numbers as Misty. Misty beats me by a considerable amount with both of her loadouts just on a numbers level, but I believe that that's due to also that my skill points are probably a little bit low for my level, as well as my ability to defend myself. I take a little bit too much damage right now, so I'm not quite able to get in as much as I would like to do damage. However, I love both of these loadouts for PvP, and I think that's a really important distinction to make. And it's more so that you can do all the damage that you want in the world in a PvE setting, where you might not have to be up in the enemy's face or getting stunned and all that stuff. When you get to the PvP side of the game, things might be different for you. And that's just something that I think that I'm giving you guys that advice so you guys can make your own decisions. I'm not saying that this is the best loadout in the world. I'm just saying this is one that I really like. Based on what I know about this game, based on how I play with my other characters, it's kind of like knowing what I know about controlling with Ninja Andrew. This is what I would be afraid of going up against if I was going up against a Celestial character. Having said that, though, I am terrified of Ninja Misty, so you guys should go out and check out her video as well, and check out all of her advice on her loadouts, because she'll be able to give you the lowdown on those really powerful high score loadouts that she really likes. So hopefully between the two of those, that'll really be able to help you guys out. So I'm just gonna go through here, show you guys this combo. Maybe you'll be able to see why I like it for PvP, maybe not. I must say that Celestial DPS, I would say, is built for one-handed weapon. You can see here, I've already mentioned this once, but this is the hold triangle move. I'll do it a few times for one-handed. This is my triangle move. So that's hold triangle. This is my triangle power. So I can clip those. Get a little bit of extra damage. So if I was, let's say, comboing against a guy, he blocks, I throw my hold triangle, then I can immediately throw this while he's on the ground. That's really nice. That then goes into the slam. And I pick up stuff and I throw it at him, and I point at him and I go into my bubble to taunt him to hit me, and then I laugh at him and I pull him towards me and I make big waves on the ground and I destroy him. You can see all of these powers are super easy to throw, to clip into each other. I would actually be afraid to try and attack me right now, just because it's like I know that I've got the shield on, I know that I've got all of these extra powers to do damage with, as well as that laugh, which is going to make me do even more damage. So it's like, I don't know, like if somebody hit my shield right now, Missy and I tested it with just a shield by itself. The shield by itself, I think, did 940 and 870. The two times that we just tried it randomly in a duel without hitting anything else. So, okay, 490 there. So, it's going to do a decent hit, but if you can, like, stack up all those powers on top of each other, it's like, you're going to get some decent effects out of these powers. Let me see if I can bust it. 503. So, it's probably doing less here because I'm in my PvP gear fighting this thing, and Misty and I were in different gear at that time. But that's essentially my loadout. I just throw the whole thing and get away from all the quantum dudes, honestly. Let's see if I can do it. And if I ever get in trouble, I can just nom on the enemy and he'll heal me right up. And every single one of these moves is going to do a ton of damage, especially in a PvP setting. So hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully it shows you a little bit of something. I will just reiterate that, as you can see, my moves have been loaded out so that I have a slam or slam melee combo on my square. I have a ranged attack on my triangle, shield on circle. The attack I'm going to use the most, which is that taunt. Even though it takes a little while to load it back up again, you can see its cooldown time is pretty long. It just means that that's how I'm limited in using it very often to do that. But I still think it's the best move you can put in that slot on this power. Then I've got my pull, like I said on the other one, and my supercharge. And that's how I do my loadouts. And you can like use that trick to try and like find loadouts on other characters, because the same kind of thing works for pretty much every loadout in the game. There are only a few powers where maybe their ranged attack is only a short ranged attack, and it just means you got to be in closer. But hopefully that gives you guys a good idea. One final thing before I go, guys. During the Halloween event, it's still on maybe for a couple days, although maybe by the time I put out this episode it's going to be over. But in the Halloween vendor, there's something called a Croatoan's Trinket. And there are many different levels of it. It's one of the reasons Misty and I leveled up our characters so quickly, is so that we could get the level 71 version of the Croatoan's Talisman Trinket. It's the highest level that you can get. And essentially, this is a great trinket because not only does it work in PvP, but it is also a damage-based trinket. It's going to work, I think, the best for a Celestial DPS, just because it looks even more badass for my character. So basically the effect of the trinket, if I throw it once, I'll throw it here on this enemy. You can see it does a hit of damage. And now you can see I have swirly, just barely there effects around me, and that sort of dark celestial DPS power. Now, the fun thing about this trinket is the more you use it, the more powerful it gets, up to a certain point. So, essentially, this is great for PvP, because it's like the longer that you last and the more times that you can throw this before you go down, probably the more likely you are going to be able to wipe out that enemy team. Just because it's going to keep adding that little bit more every time until you maybe overcome the enemy. So I'm going to show you here again. I'm going to throw the exact same trinket again. You can see it added another little ring of little black swirly things. The black swirly area has gotten a little bit bigger around me. Now I've got maybe like the blue rings are looking a little bit better. I'm just going to wait for it to keep recharging. You can use it up to 4 times. On the 4th use, essentially it breaks itself and then you have to start over again. But I think that judging by the amount of time it takes to do it, it's perfect for PvP. Because you're going to start using it on the enemy, and by the time you get to that 4th one, he's probably going to be dead. So I'm just going to keep going here, just to show you guys the full. See, you can now see it's even bigger. The swirlies are larger. The blue rings are going out further and have maybe like a purpley effect until they get close to me. And that would be like your 3rd level. And so you know that the next time is going to be the highest. But I think that looks pretty badass, especially for a character that has all these other dark powers. Just gives yourself a little extra something. Make yourself look cool. So if you can go out and get one of those before the holidays end, you know, you guys might like doing that. You can see here I'm going to throw it the last time. This is the final level of effect, and it's going to dissipate in about a second. And it should. Huh, maybe I can use it 5 times. That would be crazy. No, there it goes. See? So, just a little quick training of the Croatoan's Trinket and its uses. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Hopefully it was informative. I know that I'm not the best when it comes to being able to say definitively that this is like the best loadout or whatever. This is just the one that I have come across that I like the most. I like it because it looks badass, it feels badass, and the way it works is badass. So, hope you guys like it, and thank you for joining me. As always, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We do try to bring out new content as often as we can, and we're going to be covering lots of DCUO stuff and more games as we can get into them, and we'll see you again next time for more epic adventures with DorkNinjaGaming. Thank you for watching, guys.